Hello, in this lecture we're going to find the term debit memorandum. According to Fundamental Accounting Principles, Wild 22nd edition, the definition of debit memorandum is notification that the issuer, sender, has debited the recipient's account in the sender's records. Let's take a look at the term debit memorandum, which includes the term debit in it. Remember that debit just means the amount on the left-hand side of a ledger. That's it. There's no other meaning to the debit. When we take it in context of the full term debit memorandum, we need to keep that in mind and note that it's a notification that the issuer or sender has debited the recipient's account, but it's on the sender's records. That's important to note. We're talking about the sender's records, not the recipient's records. That's why the debit oftentimes is going to be doing the opposite of what the recipient's records may be doing. If we keep that in mind, we can see why debit still just means the amount on the left-hand side and the credit means the amount on the right-hand side and not get mixed up with the terminology. Let's take a look at an example. If we have the owner here has a checking account, it may be that the bank issues a debit memorandum or something like that, or on the bank statement we have the debit that then says that we have bank service charges that have been charged and they've debited our accounts on their records. And notice what that does to our account. If we're talking about our bank account, it has decreased it. Has decreased our banking account, our checking account, and they're calling it a debit memorandum, or it might be a debit on the bank statement. What we need to remember, though, is that for us, on our records, if our records went down and we're talking about our checking account, we would do that with a credit. So why are they calling it a debit memorandum? Because it's on their records. So on their records, if we put a deposit into the bank, that means that the bank owes us that money back. It's kind of like an accounts payable. It's a liability account that they owe back. If they then say that they're charging us money for bank services charges, that means that they owe us less back. So they're basically decreasing the amount that they owe us back, decreasing the liability with a debit on the bank statement. When we record that bank statement in our cash account on our side, it's actually going to be decreasing our cash account with a credit. And so it's important to keep that in mind. That'll keep us straight on what a debit memorandum is and also what the term debit and credits are.